Broadband penetration rates continue to grow worldwide. Real-time entertainment usage is increasing exponentially. The growing demand for mobility, real-time applications, and web services has led to consumers expecting large amounts of bandwidth that deliver faster access speeds at reasonable prices.
Well, the trends that are driving the industry are these new digital technologies, software as a service, cloud computing, and sensor-based services or sensor-based technologies are good examples. All these services depend on a ubiquitous connectivity between the end user and the hosted service. This whole new value chain that's evolving, which is comprised of web-based services players, computing hosting players or service hosting players, network players, which Axia fits in, and the end user devices. That ecosystem is the new next generation value chain. So whether you're in any of these customer markets, whether you're in education, you're in healthcare, you're in business, you're at home, you need these ubiquitous continuity of communication tools.
Fiscal 2011 was an exciting year for Axia as we continued to deliver on our goal of being the dominant provider of fibre infrastructure in the regions where we operate.
Our current operations span the globe. We have more than $2 billion invested in our networks of over 30,000 kilometers of fibre assets. We serve more than 200 retail service providers worldwide through our networks in Alberta, Canada, Massachusetts, United States, France, province of Catalonia in Spain, and Singapore. Our current financial state is healthy. We have just finished a period of very heavy capital investment without leveraging our balance sheet. This now positions us to take advantage of the assets we've invested in. In addition, we plan to extend our existing networks to customers where this makes sense. And finally, we will selectively look at new opportunities as they arise.
A key focus for North American business development is establishing fibre to the premise services in many of our communities where they don't exist. In the United States, working for opportunities to serve medium-sized communities, establish fibre to the premise, working in partnership with the communities. We're also looking for opportunities right here in Alberta along the same lines. At the same time, we're improving and expanding our offering, our service offering of big bandwidth packages to all our customers, both in the private and public sectors. Over the past fiscal year, Axia North America remained the most profitable part of our business portfolio. Our revenues grew 10% to $56.7 million for the year, and we've got lots of good prospects we see on the horizon. In Massachusetts, we were awarded a 10-year extendable contract to serve the Mass Broadband 123 network, which is a new network being established by a state agency to serve various communities in western and northern Massachusetts. More than 123 communities, more than 1,100 miles in length. In choosing Axia, the state of Massachusetts and the state agency we're dealing with looked to our experience and our track record everywhere in the world. They particularly liked what we were doing here in Alberta, where we have a solid track record of serving both the public and private sectors in rural parts of the province, which is their objective in linking to non-metro communities in Massachusetts. The driving opportunity in Alberta really is reflective of what's going on in the Alberta economy. We've established a strong presence in northern Alberta to serve our enterprise clients in the energy sector, involved with the oil sands projects. Over the past year, we completed 2 major builds to serve major enterprise customers in the oil sands area. Our other priority that we were successful in completing over the past year was establishing connections to 3 major data centers, to which will give a better offering in total to our existing SuperNet customers in the province.
We had significant revenue growth in Axia's European business. Broadband revenue grew 46% to 17 million euros. Covage has moved from construction phase to activation. The growing market penetration is going to generate positive cash flows and create a solid platform for our future profitability. We continue to look for opportunities to develop our footprint in France. Recently, we won a contract for the activation of an enterprise network in the city of Nîmes. We also won a contract for the concession to operate the submarine cable between Corsica and the mainland of France. And we also won a contract in the development of a fiber to the home pilot project in our Semaphore 77 network. In November 2010, Axia has won the Xarxa Alberta contract with the Generalitat of Catalunya in Spain, and the Generalitat of Catalunya has committed to spend 253 million euros in the course of the 20-year contract. In May 2011, we completed the integration of the 1,200-kilometer network. We commissioned 60 sites for the government of Catalonia, and we established our network operating center in Barcelona. In 2013, we will start the deployment and construction of new government sites.
Axia has a 30% stake in a company called OpenNet. And OpenNet was awarded the tender to build and operate the passive fiber grid portion of the next generation network in Singapore. OpenNet is unique because it's going to be, when it's completed, the first fiber to the premise network anywhere in the world that truly does connect every premise within the country. Now, OpenNet being a city-state, it's 4.5 million people, approximately 1.1 million residential premises and 300,000 commercial premises, but it will be truly the first network that connects every one of those premises. Well, the uptake is starting to pick up speed. It's been quite positive. Fiscal year 2011 was the first year of real positive revenue that OpenNet earned $6.8 million in the year ending March 31st, 2011. And currently, OpenNet has 6 what they call qualified parties, or basically customers that are purchasing wholesale fiber services and then putting electronics on top of the fiber and selling bandwidth services to the retail market. What's interesting about Singapore is that Axia is proving that we can bring truly compelling pricing to a ubiquitous fiber grid in a metropolitan community.
Well, Axia creates this fiber grid that is the backbone for this digital communications for any of these services and any of these customers. Since it won't be replicated, it's best in a utilitarian open access model, so the economies of scale flow through to all the customers, and that's what Axia does.